with Zapier, we can integrate TruEdit to WordPress. We can take content that's been authored in TruEdit, deliver it to the web CMS. So in my case here, let's go back over to the TruEdit web client. And we're going to go ahead into this National Parks app. And I'm actually creating content here both for my app as well as for the web. And I have this article about the Gettysburg Address. You'll notice if I go over to the detail pane here, I actually also have metadata here for creating a Twitter post, just as you saw me do before. But in this case, when I post it to WordPress, I also want to send out a tweet about it. So let's take a look at the content in here. We'll just check that out, and that's going to open up right inside TrueAuthor. A reminder for folks who haven't seen this before, TrueAuthor is the HTML authoring interface, authoring and layout interface within TruEdit. It gives me a layout view that I'm in right now, an editing view where I can go ahead and edit content and see versioning and leave notes, things like that. And it gives me a preview ability where I can render that content within the context of the CSS. And in this case, I'm looking at the CSS not for my website, but for my mobile application. We'll come back to that a little later on. But this is going to move through a workflow like any other content we manage in TruEdit, so that when I go ahead and go to check in my document, I can move it to my final status, click Save. That's going to check in my job, and it's going to make it available to be exported. So we'll go back over to Zapier, and we've got our export to WordPress and Twitter. Go ahead and run that, and you'll see here it'll run. In this case, I'm running a JavaScript in the middle, and I'll talk more about that in a moment. But you'll see here within a matter of seconds, we've created a WordPress post and a tweet. So let's actually take a look at that. We'll go to WordPress, and I can see here this article. I actually had it automatically published, so if I click View, that would show me the live content, and here you can see the look and feel of it with my web CSS. So we've taken the content from TrueAuthor, but let WordPress decide the look and feel here. So there's all my content. And if I go back over to Twitter, I've still got that in the next window here. I'll hit refresh. We can see here that tweet, and you'll notice there's even a bit.ly URL. I can click on that bit.ly URL, and that's going to take me right back to that post. And the nice thing I like about bit.ly is that, of course, now I've got all of the analytics about my my posts as well. So it's one of the reasons why I like to use bit.ly for short URLs. If I didn't use bit.ly, Zapier will automatically convert it to a short URL through its own platform. But let me show you how that's set up, because I did a few interesting things here. And this shows you really can take what Zapier does out of the box, what we give you within TruEdit, what the items need, and really transform it. So let's go ahead and edit that. So you can see here I've got a number of actions here. First is I grabbed a job from TruEdit. So in this configuration, I'm looking for final HTML content that's set to the final status, and it's going to extract those jobs. Now the next step, I could just go straight and create the post in WordPress, but I actually want to extract some information. So I'm using some JavaScripts, and the JavaScripts are great because it allows me to essentially have custom functions here within Zapier. Here I'm passing the body of the HTML that's coming from TruEdit into this JavaScript, and it's essentially going and finding and extracting the text that's tagged with the H1, the headline. And it's going to essentially pull out the headline. It's going to pull it out with a tag and without, and then it's going to automatically create the link that should be used in WordPress, because we want the link to not be what WordPress just assigns it with a number. We want it to actually use the headline, or maybe we want it to use tags depending on our SEO. So we've gone ahead and done that, and we've gone ahead and relinked the images from the local package that that we provide from TruEdit into what WordPress needs as far as a link. And then, you know, when I started doing this demo, I used Zapier's built-in link functionality to shorten the links. But you know what? I said I prefer bit.ly. So I went on to Bitly's site. They actually have a JavaScript API. I was able to basically copy that, paste that in here, and go ahead and very quickly and easily create my link using Bitly. It goes ahead and its return is the shortened URL. So now when I create the post in WordPress, I have the headline that was pulled out by my first JavaScript, the body copy that was done with the relinked images. See here, set to the status of published. I could have it put pending or something else. And then after that, we created the tweet. And in the tweet, I used the Bitly URL that was provided along with the short post that came over from TruEdit.
So you've got a little bit more set up here, but you're essentially posting to your website and doing a tweet and being able to track it with the Bitly URL.
Absolutely. So there's a little bit more setup here, but you know, a web designer, web developer, usually very familiar with a JavaScript, can very easily do this, and certainly anything that we do within our demos is examples. But the nice thing about Bitly, I just went to their website and basically copied their example code and pasted it right in, changed a couple values, tested it, and was done. And we're talking probably about 15 minutes of work, and now it's it just runs. But if something changes and we say we don't want to use Bitly, we want to use a different service, we can swap those in and out without having to worry to go back into any custom development or anything like that.
And the important part is
the important part is you're still sourcing it from our workflow in TruEdit, so everybody's starting there as the beginning point, right?
Absolutely. So everything is coming over from TruEdit. All that content's authored in it. The versioning, the routing, the notes capabilities, all of that exists within that TrueAuthor document. We're simply delivering it out at the appropriate point in the workflow.